friend Roger Christofferson here again with another first listen review. Just going into this week, I was looking for some cool albums to listen to and possibly babble about, and there was not a whole heck of a lot coming out when I was first looking. I saw that this album, which I'm going to talk about, which is Steve Perry and the Season 3, and I was not overly excited because this is the third time this album has been released, and I say album very tentatively because the first release of this only had 8 songs. It was like 25 minutes long. They called that an album. I remember getting it thinking, well, I would have preferred a little bit more. You know, you're paying full price for something and you get 25 minutes worth of music. Yeah, I was a little bummed about that part of it. And then they re-released it a year later because it came out in 21 with 2 additional songs on it, which made it just squeak a little bit over the half-hour mark. Now they've added 6 more songs to it, which makes it actually album length. So finally we get an album's worth of material, in my opinion anyway. So I'm like, all right, it's 6 more songs. It's a good chunk. So I did not get the one in 21 with the 2 extras. I felt a little bit, I hate it when, I really do, just personal opinion here, I hate it when artists do that, release something and then very shortly after release something else, the exact same thing with a couple things on it. I don't like that. I don't know, it just seems a little bit sketchy to me. It turns me off quite a bit, but this one was a little bit more worth it, so I ended up getting it. I wasn't going to listen to it till after Christmas, but there was not a whole lot to talk about this week, or in my case, babble. So I gave it a listen last night. Wasn't really planning on doing a review of it, but there may be people out there that are wondering what this is. Big Steve Perry fans. I'm a big Steve Perry fan. So I figured I would just do a quick little, not keep it too long, I hope. You never know, I tend to go on and on sometimes, but just give it a quick overview of what this actually is. I mean, if you're a Steve Perry fan, you're probably going to want everything that he's done. I remember, like, way back, I discovered Journey way back, and I've had to get everything he's done. I've, played Journey songs on all the bands I'm in. In fact, I'm just currently jamming through Stone in Love here not too long ago, and still doing it. They have good songs, and stuff that he's done on his own even. I like, I was in a band years ago, we used to do the song Strung Out, which, was not a big hit or anything, but really fun song. Some of the stuff, for me personally, that's post-Frontiers has been hit or miss, but, I always like to hear everything that he's done. I got Traces, here, that's been 6 years ago now, I think. It's hard to believe it's been that long, but I guess it has. I enjoyed that album. People kind of got on him for his voice sounding shot. I don't think his voice is shot. He sounds like he's a guy that's been singing, and he has very good control of his voice. It's more soulful nowadays. It's got a little bit of a rasp to it, which doesn't bother me at all. I mean, the guy's been singing his entire life. That happens. Our voices change. I can't, there's people that do last, and, their voices sound exactly the same, but I mean, come on, this guy's got a range that's insane. I think it's still there, just because he doesn't go for the super high notes. You can hear it when he's singing. It's very effortless for him to still hit those notes. It doesn't sound like he's straining his voice at all. But so when I was listening through this, I noticed that his voice is like that. It doesn't sound like they did too much to fix, with auto-tune or anything like that. I didn't really hear anything that was blatantly obvious to me, but I honestly wasn't really trying to hear that, but I didn't hear anything that sounded that way to me. The arrangement of the song tracks is definitely different than what the original one was. They changed things up and mixed the new songs in there. I mean, the whole running order is completely different. One of the things I did think was kind of cool is he has a duet in here with his father, I guess has passed away now, Ray Perry, on the song Call Me Irresponsible. And he's also got the one that was added back in 22 was one of the ones added then as an original song that he wrote. Otherwise, everything else on here is old Christmas songs, that we've heard. I mean, everything on here I've heard. There's only one that's a song called What Are You Doing New Year's Eve, and I actually I've never heard that one. So, but everything else on here, as far as those Christmas songs go, I've heard before. So I'm not a big Christmas album type of person. I like it when bands come out with stuff that's their own and original, or they do something really different and unique with the same songs we've heard 1,000 times. And he did change these to his own, but it may not be in the way you expect. The way this whole album came off to me is it's very sparse. There's no big production on here at all. The majority of it is keyboards and him singing. There's a little drums here and there, and some of that little added sound effects and stuff here and there, but not much. I mean, there's only 3 people credited on this, with Steve doing the vocals, Dallas Cruz playing piano, bass, synth, and some backing vocals, and then Vinny Kaluta, I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm always horrible with that, on drums. So there's really not a whole lot of instrumentation on here at all. And the overall feel of these songs, I've heard it described as kind of Bublé-esque, and I can't disagree with that. It's got a very jazzy feel to it, and especially the piano parts, it's not just your standard, playthrough of these songs. It's got a very jazzy feel to it, in the way Steve sings, stylistically. It's got that real jazzy feel to it. So if you like that style of music, you're probably going to love this album. If you don't, you may find this a little bit I'm not a big fan of that style of music. However, Steve's voice is just that good, in my opinion, that I didn't mind listening to it. I probably won't put this on a lot just because it's very laid back, very mellow. So unless I'm in that type of mood, I probably won't throw it on again. The funny part is the one song that I liked the least on here was the original one. Didn't care for that one at all. Otherwise, everything else is pretty much, what you think. If you know these songs, you're gonna enjoy it. It's kind of cool. I like actually his version of "What a Wonderful World" because I've never really liked the original of that, or the version we all know of that one. Louis Armstrong, I believe, right? Singing that one, I just never really cared for that, just personally. But so hearing Steve sing it actually made me enjoy that song. So I will give you that, or him that, I should say. And there's just other songs on here like Jingle Bell Rock and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Whatever. It's just another version of him doing it. This is a few songs that, I don't care if I ever really hear again, but it is what it is. So I've never gone on longer with this than I actually intended. So just quick little overview of it. It's a Christmas album. You kind of know what you're going to get, but this one had a little different flavor than I was expecting. So I just figured I'd do a quick little review on it. If you've heard it, anything you want to toss in there that maybe I am not mentioning, but feel free to mention in there in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe to keep this music alive, because I would really love to hear more from Steve Perry. He just, I don't think he's done enough lately. He's still got it. I mean, why would you just, in my opinion, just want to sit around and not use your amazing God-given talent and share it with the world? So I hope he does a little bit more. But for now, it was a decent listen. I'm not going to say it was something that I disliked, but it's probably not something I'm going to listen to a lot either. But on that note, we will talk to you next time. We'll see you.